Still posting. Moving on your left. Set it off. Let it off. Okay. Copy back. Moving on your left. Okay, so we'll see where people show up. Hi. Let's see where people show up. Move you over some. Move you over some. There you go. There you go. Hold on, I'm still posting, so. Happy Sunday. On TikTok. Why am I having such a tough time doing this? At Mama Trey. If y'all are listening, listen up. At Mama Trey Wilbon. Everywhere else. Okay. Everywhere else. Put in the comments where you are logging in from and tap the screen and share the live. Okay. Happy Sunday. You've been fasting? Fantastic. What are you hoping to achieve with fasting? I'm just curious. What do you achieve? What are you trying to achieve with fasting? What are you achieving with fasting? Because I'll tell you something about that. Hi, Ohio. Hi, New York. Hi, Chicago. Hi, Georgia. Hi, Michigan. So I'm also over here on the tube if y'all feel better about that. Struggling with HS and lupus. What is HS? What exactly is HS? What is HS? And I'm just trying to figure out what you hope to achieve with fasting, even when it comes to those two things. What is it that y'all are thinking? Thank you. What is it that y'all are thinking is going to happen from you temporarily starving your body? Who has told you that is what's going to help you? I'm just curious. I'm going to restart the live on TikTok because y'all seem to be lagging. I don't know if the invitation went out or didn't. So you're starving your body because you have skin issues. I'll be right back, TikTok. Let me talk to you, Miss Nikki. Is it Nikki? It helps me in metal clarity. HS is bad. What is HS? Big boils under my arms. What exactly is HS? You never said what that was. And how long do you think it's going to take for you to starve yourself for the big boils under your arm to clear up? Because here's what I need you to think about. If you have big boils under your arms and they disappear when you stop eating, then the problem is not you eating, it's you eating the wrong things. Whatever it is that you are eating is what is contributing to these conditions in your body. If the boils disappear when you don't eat any food, then the problem is food. What you are doing is a very drastic and extreme way of getting rid of the boil instead of figuring out what food triggered the boil. So now your whole body has to suffer because you continue to eat one thing that your body keeps telling you by allowing boils to form on your arms. Bitch, stop eating that. By you saying that these boils are coming, this is not the first time you've experienced these boils. So you've starved yourself, the boils went away, and then they came back. Mental clarity. You think that starving your body is going to give you mental clarity? Jordan, turn that fan around to face me. Thank you. Let me just make this very plain to everyone. Please share the live, tap the screen, and put in the comments where you're logging in from, okay? So we can get the numbers up quickly. I have stopped with dairy and it still bothers me. What is your blood type, ma'am? Fasting is not a great tool ever. So it is not. You are throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So you're throwing away your nutrition. You're throwing away your energy source. You're throwing away all of the things that help your engine run the way it's supposed to run because you're eating the one thing that gives you brain fog and boils under your arms. Instead of you figuring out what the one thing is that your body detests and no longer ever eating that again, you're throwing out all of the food. How does that make sense? Because fasting is a temporary solution to an everyday problem. Y'all have gotten to the point that, let me tell you, when thinking like this comes in. Thinking like this happens when you become desperate for answers. Okay? When you start doing very reckless things like starving your body, it comes from desperation. It comes from, I'm at my wit's end. It comes from, I've been trying to figure this out and can't. That's what it comes from. So I don't know why TikTok is messing with my numbers today. I don't know why TikTok is messing with my numbers today. But y'all can always go watch me on the tube, Mama Trey Wilbon. I'm over there. If y'all feel better about watching it over there, that's where I am right now. I'm on there right now. Okay. I don't know why it's only got 18 people on the live. I'm a flight attendant and it's hard to control everything I eat. So I just stop everything. Am I also snowed in? I live in Las Vegas. It's 60 degrees. So no. Y'all have to stop. Listen, I understand that everyone has to make a living, right? But to continue to use your job as the reason why you mistreat your body is not the answer. As someone else would put it, excuses. So you go from eating all the wrong things to not eating anything at all. So it's wild. But enjoy. I'm not the person to tell you that what you are doing is wrong. Your body's telling you that already. So I'm just here to tell you how to interpret what your body is telling you. Because now you're going to be lethargic. You're going to be lacking in minerals. You're going to be lacking in nutrients. You're going to be deficient. I make great choices. I'm not sure how organic they are. Miss Nick, have you ever, what is your blood type? Did you put your blood type in the comments? You making goat soup? Ah! Lucky you. Lucky you. One of my favorite soups when I lived in Nigeria was goat meat pepper soup. Yum, 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 yum. Please type absurd things in the comments. Put whatever you want in the comments. It's going to bring the numbers up. Okay. I mean, I know you're probably sitting around watching football because football is more important to you than your health, but I don't take that personally. You're not sure what your blood type is. You'll find out. This is the problem. Okay. So please go over to the Big A where they sell all that stuff. I have to talk in code. Go over there and get the Eldon blood typing kit. And you'll find out in 5 minutes what your blood type is. Okay. And once you do that, then you come back here and you get your foods list and you get your cookbooks and you get your health guide. Because everything that you are experiencing right now is simply because you're eating foods that do not go with your genetics. Okay. So when your body creates bad skin and boils and pain and inflammation and bad skin and all these different things, that is the only way your body can communicate with you. Okay. You said you're type O, and when I was eating, like you said, I felt a whole lot better, which gives me the indication that you no longer eat the way I said. Why did you stop? You're welcome, Miss Rhonda. Miss Rhonda, I want you to fix your settings. Figure out why you can't be included in the black folks shit group on TikTok. I want to know why you can't be included in that. I keep sending you invitations. I have a group on TikTok called Black People Shh. So it's on my profile. If you want to join, go over there and join if you're Black. That's if you're Black. Don't come in there and get embarrassed if you're not Black. Okay? Don't do it. Y'all gonna have to wrap your minds around the fact that we deserve to have a safe space. And yes, we are talking about you. So if you have been eating for your blood type and you suddenly stopped eating for your blood type, your body's going to be like, bitch, what the fuck is going on? Okay. The indication that you should be eating according to your blood type is your body not working the way that it's supposed to work. If you have this bad skin or you're feeling this way, or you have this brain fog, or if you have all this stuff going on, it is because of what you are putting in your engine every day. That's like you right now, you would never go outside and put sugar in your gas tank, would you? Would you ever go outside and put sugar in your gas tank? Oh, hold on. The messages weren't coming up. Some things went wrong in my life and I went back to not eating like I should, but I wish I'm going back real soon because I have boils and problems with my heart and all other kinds of things. Well, I'm also here to tell you that there's more to it than just the food. Okay. What's the name of what again, Joel? What are you asking about? Okay. There's more to healing our bodies than just the food. Okay. And it took me to be diagnosed with, let me just get rid of this real quick before we even start on this path, because this looks silly. The private group is Black people shit. But it's on my profile. So underneath any links, you'll see showcase, you'll see TikTok studio or whatever, and then it'll say the group. So there's two groups. There's OG Blacks, which stands for Original Blacks, because we are those people. Okay. And then there's Black people-ish. Can we get African sea moss and olive oil from Africa? Are you in Africa? What are you trying to achieve with, first of all, I have never seen olive oil from Africa. Olive oil generally comes from places that grow olive trees. I've never seen olive oil from Africa a day in my life. Olive trees generally are in the Mediterranean region. And for the most part, sea moss is Irish. If they're there, then you can Google that. I don't understand why y'all be waiting for me when y'all got Google on your phone 24 hours a day. I don't understand. If that is what you are looking for, then you should probably go and Google that. Right? So I know a lot of you guys have gotten away from eating according to your blood type, but let me tell you how that is still, regardless of what else it is that I'm teaching you, that is always going to be the foundation of your healing. The only reason that I say that, I've been trying to find a source. Well, it's not me. I'm not the source. Google is a source. That's where you need to go and look, okay? No matter what else is going on in your body, you still have to eat for your body's genetics. Okay? There is absolutely no way around it. If you want to achieve and maintain your optimal health, you should be eating in a way that your body processes food. I'll use the car as an analogy again. If you are putting the wrong gas and the wrong oil and the wrong fluids in your car, it is not going to work as designed. If your car calls for premium gas and your ass is too cheap to put premium gas in your car, first of all, you never should have bought it. If premium gas is too expensive for your car, you never should have bought a car that requires that. That's first and foremost. But secondly, you wouldn't do it. Right? If your car specifies that it needs this type of oil, because there are hundreds of different types of oil that go in hundreds of different types of cars, why would you purposely put the wrong oil? Jordan has a Mercedes. I have a Cadillac. We cannot use the same oil in our car. He has to use specifically oil for that car by Mercedes. The oil is literally sitting downstairs in the garage. My oil is totally different. Why would I put Jordan's oil in my car? To fuck it up. It's the same premise. as you putting the wrong food in your body, you're going to fuck it up. And it may seem like, oh, this just happened overnight. No, this is what happens when you continually put the wrong things in your body. Eventually, that illness is going to show up. That illness is going to present itself. It's been running in the background this whole time. But now you're just now paying attention to it because it's now at a point that it's becoming a problem. Right? Because y'all will drive fucked up cars until it becomes a problem, right? Right? You'll keep driving that car until it becomes unbearable. And then you take it into the shop. You don't take it into the shop for the regular maintenance. You just go to, that's going to the doctor. When you go to the doctor, it's because you've gotten to the point where your symptoms are no longer manageable. So then you go to a symptom manager, which is a doctor, right? They will give you medications to manage your symptoms. There is nothing in the doctor-patient contract that says that doctor is going to heal you. He does not say that. He does not claim he's going to heal you. He does not promise you that he's going to heal you. He just lets you believe that he will. He'll just let you believe that he will. He will not correct you. He will not say, I'm just a symptom manager, ma'am. When have y'all ever been to the doctor and he said, ooh, don't look to me for healing. I'm not the one. Has your doctor ever said that to you? Tap the screen, share the live, and comment. Did your doctor ever? I do a call and response type of live. That means I'm literally asking y'all questions. These are not rhetorical. These are questions that I'm asking you to answer. Okay? And by you answering, it will also increase the people in the live. Twofold. Okay? Your doctor has never, ever, not one day said to you that I'm here to heal you. Never. It'll never cross his little baloney lips. But they let you believe that. They let you believe that they are the savior. They let you believe that without them, you will die, right? All doctors are taught to say the same things. All doctors are literally taught. I asked, has your doctor ever promised to heal you? Has your doctor ever said, I'm here to heal you up? I'm here to fix you? Never. They actually got mad when I came in with a list of labs I wanted done. What you should do, if there are a list of labs that you want done, you should make an appointment with Quest Diagnostics. Okay? You can go and get your test run without your doctor. That's where I was Saturday. I went and got blood drawn at Quest Diagnostics. And what cracked me up is that while I'm sitting there waiting for the phlebotomist to take my blood, because, they always love to take our blood, I'm looking at this thing they have on the wall, and it says that how they evaluate all the biomarkers and all this, that, and the other. Now, this falls in line. Biomarkers and genetics, all the words that I've been saying to y'all for the past few weeks were all on this one. I should have taken a picture of it. Why didn't I think of that? Should have taken a picture of it. But all the stuff that I have been teaching y'all over the past couple of months about genetics and biomarkers and how they measure everything, especially when it comes to Black people. They measure our cortisol. They measure our heart rates. They measure everything from our blood. Every single thing is documented. these diagnostic places is who does it. They're the ones that keep the records. They're the ones that take all the labs, take your blood, examine it for every little thing. You've heard doctors say, let's manage your symptoms, because that's what doctors do. Okay? They manage your drug usage and they manage your symptoms with the drug usage. That's all doctors do. They are there to keep you coming back. Period. Okay? So all of y'all put your hopes in somebody that's literally saying, that's not my job. You're putting your hopes in somebody that says that's not my job. And then when you go into the doctor, if you notice, the nurse practitioner or the nurse is the person that does all the work. All they do is come in and write your prescription. They come in, they say a few things. Okay, I want to see you come back in a couple of months or 3 months or 6 months. And then they write your prescriptions and then they go off to the next person. But the person that takes your vitals and weighs you and takes your blood pressure and all that stuff, that's the nurse. And then they set you in that room so you can wait nervously for that doctor to come in with his little paper, and he just be flipping it like he's really looking at something. Okay. All right. Well, let me refill your prescriptions. Is everything going okay with those? Yes. Let me go ahead and that's what he does. That's it. The nurse does all the work. The doctor comes in and refills your prescriptions. So what exactly is a doctor doing besides giving you drugs? What else is he doing? He ain't said nothing about what you're supposed to be eating. He ain't told you nothing about cutting back on salt because you black, because your body is naturally salt sensitive. He ain't said nothing about none of that. How come he didn't tell you that? Because they don't talk about food, right? Well, doctors don't talk about food in it. Yep. And how much did you pay for that visit? When I paid for that visit out of my pocket, it was $225. I was there for 15 minutes. So let's do the math. Doctors will, on average, have 30 to 40 patients a day. 30 to 40. You just break it down into 15-minute intervals, and he's not even in the room for 15 minutes. He'll have 5 patients waiting for him at the same time. You'll have 5 patients. He goes this room and talks for 2 minutes. Here's your prescriptions. And then he's not even writing the prescription. You're going to the front where the nurse is giving you the prescriptions, or they're calling it into the pharmacy. So really, he's just coming in for less than a minute. Bop, bop, whoop, whoop. You cool? You good? Great. See you 3 months from now. That's what my doctor did 3 months ago. I'm about to go see him again on Thursday. And I told y'all, when I see him on Thursday, I'm coming up off these drugs. You're not hoodwinking me into staying on these drugs for the rest of my life. Are you kidding me? I'm going to be right on this nitro flow for my blood pressure. I'm going to be right on these beats for my blood pressure. Okay. I'm going to be eating according to my blood type. I'm going to be doing all the things that I'm supposed to be doing, because what have I found out about myself during this entire journey? That nothing about what I am going through with my congestive heart failure has anything at all to do with any of these external issues. It has everything to do with how my nervous system responds to all of these external issues. There is nothing about any of that. And I'm gonna be on my chill for my anxiety, to keep my anxiety low. Period. How my body reacts to the situations that we are all dealing with in this world is what is keeping me on medication. It's what's keeping you on medication. Because the bottom line is, it is our nervous system that is creating all of these issues. Now, if we don't know what is at the root of all of our issues, we will always be open for exploitation. And that's what that whole medical industry is. It's all exploitation. Because if we knew the truth, hi, Fuchel. If we knew the truth, we would not be in the situations that we're in. If the doctors had said specifically, Black people are sensitive to salt. The reason that Black people are sensitive to salt is because of the starvation tactics that were used on them during slavery. And over those centuries, their bodies adapted to not having steady food. So, how their bodies adapted to that, not having steady food and water. So, how their bodies adapted to that was that their kidneys now naturally in this time period hold on to salt in order to prevent dehydration, which will kill you. Instead, what did they do? They started writing us prescriptions for high blood pressure. Instead, they let us continue on to eat these sodium-filled diets. And as a matter of fact, they supported it by supporting corporations that create foods that are very high in sodium, like all of the processed foods you guys eat today. If you go and look at the sodium content of what you have in your house right now, you will see that it is literally a list of foods that will kill you. If someone had told Black people that the way our bodies are now set up, we cannot tolerate high sodium, we would never have high blood pressure. How did our bodies become this way? Because during slavery, starvation was used as a tactic. It was used as a way to compel us to be obedient and compliant. They destroyed our food systems that were already here when they were here as colonizers, when they rowed ashore. We already had food systems. We already had cultivation. We already had farms. We already had all these things. And the first thing that they did was destroy them. So when somebody destroys your food source, now you have to become dependent on them. So what we had been eating all the way up to that point no longer exists. Now we have to eat what they give us. So we went from eating fresh foods, fresh fruits, fresh protein, fresh sea vegetables, fresh seafood. We went from eating fresh to eating salted meats, because salt preserves the meat. So they were giving us old, dead meat that they have preserved in salt. They were giving us a bunch of carbohydrates, which our bodies were not used to processing at all. So we went from eating fresh foods to eating carbohydrates. that we were not eating before they arrived. And so that is how they continue to eat, continue to feed us over the next several hundred years. So during that time, your body, this is how bodies evolve. Your body will pay attention over the generations and over the centuries to what it is you're feeding it. It will then adapt to what it is you are feeding it in order to preserve your life. This is how our digestive systems were formed over the centuries. Okay? How it is we eat today is because of what our ancestors were eating back then. Because our bodies adapted just so we could survive. So what does that look like today? That looks like diabetes. That looks like heart disease. That looks like high blood pressure. It looks like chronic kidney disease. The four most common things Black people in the Black community deals with health-wise are those four things, more than any other things. Okay? And there is a through line from today to then. How did these diseases develop? Because these diseases did not exist before the colonizers. So now they are able to sell you meds for diabetes. They now have renal clinics on every Black corner in every Black community. They are able to keep you on meds for your heart issues, right? And they are able to medicate you for your high blood pressure because you out here eating Campbell's soup, and one can of Campbell's soup has almost 2,000 milligrams of sodium. And you not knowing that your body is automatically sensitive to salt is going to skyrocket your blood pressure immediately. And you continue to eat processed food after processed food, your lunch meats, your canned foods, a lot of your frozen dinners that you get from the Trader Joe's. All that stuff is heavy sodium. Y'all worried about these bioengineered, y'all so worried about these bioengineered foods. That video that I posted listing all the bioengineered food, y'all lost your fucking minds. Y'all have been eating bioengineered foods for decades. And the thing that is hidden in plain motherfucking sight is that goddamn sodium content. The thing that is causing Black people all over the fucking country the same issues is that goddamn sodium content. Not one person commented on that video about the sodium content of that food. Y'all were just so worried about the bioengineered. Y'all been eating bioengineered food since the fucking 50s. The 50s. But the thing that they keep hitting from us is how detrimental it is for us to consume sodium. That is killing us. That is stroking us out. Them ramen noodles and shit. Have y'all ever looked at how much sodium is in them ramen noodles? First of all, on an average day, happy snowy Sunday, not for me. I live in Vegas, sweetie. We don't have no snow here. It's 60 degrees. Hold on. Ask yourselves why every Black neighborhood has Chinese restaurants. Do y'all see Chinese restaurants in Black and white neighborhoods? Have y'all seen Chinese takeout, curry outs in white neighborhoods? Anybody? Anybody anywhere? Hello? On an average day, the average body, which is white people, right? They tell you our sodium content should be 1,500 milligrams or less per day. That's the average body. You said it's 1,520 milligrams in a pack of chicken ramen. Mind you, that's 2 services. And first of all, ain't nobody looking at no pack of ramen as no 2 servings. Y'all eating the whole pack of ramen. Some of y'all eating 2. Now, mind you, when you're looking at the sodium content on the food, that's according to the serving size. So a lot of y'all, when y'all go and eat a can of Campbell's soup, that's 2 servings. So if it says that there is let's just say 1,000 milligrams in a can of Campbell's soup, that's per serving. So that's 2,000 milligrams in the whole can. You're only supposed to have, a healthy person, 1,500 milligrams per day. Per day. That's the whole day. That's all your food. One can of soup will have your whole day plus some. With some serving sizes that get you every time. No one ever pays attention to the serving sizes, ever. So when you are on a low sodium diet, a Black person needs to stay on a low sodium diet. We need to all be on a low sodium diet. Every last one of us. I don't care how healthy you think you are. You need to remain on a low, so you need to keep your fucking sodium at 1,000 milligrams or less per day. What kind of salt? What the fuck did I just say? No kind of salt. What y'all fail to understand or even know, maybe y'all don't know this. Every single whole food already has sodium. Every single whole food in its natural state already has sodium. Turkey. Turkey has 220 milligrams of sodium per 3 ounces. Your beef already has 60 milligrams of sodium per 3 ounces. It already has sodium. None of us need to add salt to our food. Nobody. Nobody. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. So, do we eat better things or in moderation? So, let me put it to you this way. Do you just eat small amounts of poison, or would you rather take the poison all at once? Which do you prefer? Because either way, you're going to get the poison. So that fucking moderation argument is bullshit. Y'all love to try to find a way around doing what you need to do for yourself. She said we don't need to be eating sodium, full diet, and should be low sodium. That means none. Exactly. If I'm telling you that as a Black person, I recognize that there are white people here. Okay. I understand that. However, it is particularly dire for Black people if we consume salt. Okay. Now the body requires sodium, right? Black people already have a higher baseline of sodium in our body than white people do. That's what I'm telling you. So, if a white person's sodium baseline is here, a Black person's sodium baseline is here. What that means is we don't require as much sodium as a nutrient as white people do. And if we exceed the level of sodium our bodies need, then it's going to cause a problem. That problem is going to be high blood pressure and eventually kidney failure. I don't think I can make it any plainer than that. Now, do you understand? Listen, for all the people that want to say that I'm a racist and I'm part of the division, bitch, we're not the same. We literally and figuratively are not the same. This is why one size fits all shit does not work. This is why going to see a white doctor that does not understand the history of Black people and high blood pressure does not work for us. The history of seeing a Black doctor that doesn't know the history of high blood pressure does not work for us. Y'all are so busy being sensitive about a Black person telling you about your fucking health. And we're all the same and you're just being divisive and you can think what the fuck you want. All of that shit is just a way to distract and to gaslight. That has been very useful for y'all for centuries. But the buck stops, goddammit, here. What you will not do and cannot do and lack the ability to do is to gaslight me into not telling the truth to my people. I don't give a fuck how offended you become as a white person. I do not care how many feelings you have on the subject. I do not care. I'm telling you white people the truth as well. So whatever you can get from it, you should get from it. Glean what you can. But instead, she's so mean now. She's always centering Blacks. Why does she always have to center Black people? Newsflash, bitch. I'm Black. I am the center of my fucking universe. The fuck? I'm the main motherfucking character, bitch. Okay? You are no longer the main character. And that is what is bothering the shit out of y'all. We are not censoring you. Y'all can go figure that shit out on your own. You got enough motherfucking accomplices that are willing to help you with whatever you need to get done. We do not. We do not have enough accomplices. We do not have enough allies. Good night, Miss Connie. Wow, good night. Miss Connie, you're exactly who the fuck I'm talking to. Why are you in your feelings? Because I'm telling my people what's going to save my people. Why is that a problem for you? Because you want to be centered, or you want me to be color blind when there's no such thing as color blindness. It just isn't. That's just a white person's way of telling that. First of all, number one, gaslighting term. When a white person tells you that they don't see color, that means they are not recognizing what you as a black person has been through or are now experiencing in this very moment in this country. They refuse to acknowledge your struggle. They refuse to acknowledge your past. They refuse to acknowledge your history. They refuse to view you in the context in which you should be viewed. That's what they mean by I don't see color. Y'all might take that shit as a compliment. It is not meant to be a compliment. It is meant to be I don't see you. Oh, she doesn't see color. She doesn't see you then at all. And y'all just be getting hoodwinked into this bullshit all the time. And I'm here to tell you that it's bullshit. So I don't give a fuck about Miss Connie's feelings. Fuck Miss Connie. If you don't want to learn from me, I don't care. That's not hurting me. I have the knowledge. You don't. I done saved more white people's lives than your doctor did. I have saved more white people's lives on these lives than your white doctors have ever. You think that that's going to bother me if you want to take your life into your own hands? I don't care. Thank you, Miss Vicky. Miss Vicky is old and white, and I love her. Miss Vicky has been here since day one. Miss Vicky has never been offended by anything that I have said. Not one time. Miss Vicky is always here. So instead of y'all being so sensitive about all of this, try to put your feelings to the side and understand that all we're doing here is talking about truth. That's it. How did we get here? How did white people get here? How did black people get here? And how do we fix the problem? But because your emotions have always been a way to distract people and to derail the conversation and to take center stage, then you find it very difficult to deal with me. That's all. But again, that does not hurt my feelings. It does not derail my mission from coming here and giving you the information that you need to save yourselves. Okay? What you're never going to do is see me crying because white people don't receive me. That's not me. What you're never going to see is me crying because white people don't accept me. I just want to be accepted and validation from white people. If you can get the white people, then you've made it. I don't care to make it then if I need the white people. I don't care to make it because I've made it all this time without white people. Right. I'm giving you the truth so you can live. If I'm telling you that black bodies are very, very sensitive to sodium, that should also be a clue to you as a white person. You should be cutting back on your sodium as well. Because y'all are not exempt from high blood pressure. It's just that it's overwhelming in us. Y'all are not exempt from kidney issues. It's just that it's overwhelming in us. Okay? For us, it's a fucking epidemic. So I help everybody. Y'all have a problem with that because I'm Black. And my people are always going to be the priority. And for you to expect less is absurd. So when we trace it back, you're welcome. When we trace it back, the books that I have put out for y'all, like this one, The Hidden Cost of Being Black in America, explains why we have the illnesses that we have. Yeah, it's not my problem. It's a them problem. See, what y'all need to understand is Black is not a problem for us. Black is a problem for you. Being Black is not a problem for Black people. Being Black is a problem for white people. Period. We didn't make these issues up. We didn't make up this division. We didn't define any of these things. You were the person in power and you made up all the rules, and then you get mad that we adapted to the rules and we are still here. You made up this division. You literally, historically, defined white. You defined Black. You defined Negro. You defined colored. You defined all these things. You are the one that erased who we originally were. You're the one that created a census and then renamed us all. You came into our country and renamed everything. Can you imagine sailing into Africa and renaming all of it? This is no longer such and such. That you're no longer this tribe. You are this tribe now. You're no longer Yoruba. You're this. You're no longer Hausa. You're this. You're no longer Igbo. You're this. That's what happened. And you didn't find uncivilized savages. We were very much civilized. We were very much civilized. We had our own cities. We had our own farming culture. We took baths every day. We had our own gods. We had our own everything. And then y'all came and disrupted that. So the way that our bodies work today, the way that our gut processes food and what our bodies genetically require was interrupted by colonization. They did. They did. They changed the name of Africa. Okay. But what happened was our bodies were for thousands of years eating these same foods. So our bodies had adapted to the sisters. Like what we were mainly eating was beans and squash and corn, which is maize, not the same corn we eat today. Those are referred to as the three sisters. That was literally at the root of our food because the maize, not the corn, the maize was protein rich. Okay. You have a product for HP insulin resistance. I'll tell you how you became insulin resistant. Y'all have to stop thinking in ways of products. If you do not change your food, Not one of these supplements I have created for you is going to work. Because how is a supplement going to work if you are still eating the foods that made you sick? I'll wait. Y'all think that it's just simple enough for you to go out and get a vitamin. I'm so lethargic. I need to go get a vitamin. Well, why are you lethargic? Because you are eating foods that are not mineral and nutrient rich. So your body cannot turn those foods into energy for you. So you're going to continue to eat the foods that don't give you any energy, but you're going to buy something that will give you energy. That makes no sense. So, to answer your question, I have products for everything. But if you are not going to go get your foods list, if you're not going to go get your cookbooks, if you're not going to go get your health guide that breaks down your ailment that you're dealing with and how and what foods in particular you need to be eating more of to heal up faster, then nothing's going to change. That sounds better. I'd rather eat the food. Go get your foods list. Y'all, a lot of y'all sitting here don't even have your foods list. How many of y'all here don't know your blood type? How many of you here right now don't know your blood type? Let's put in the comments. We got to start from there. Okay. If you do not know your blood type, I don't know if I can show this or not, but there is a test that you can get on the A, on the big A, you know what I'm talking about, called the Eldon Blood Typing Kit. ELDON. Eldon. You will find out in 5 minutes what your blood type is. No, I buy this carrot juice. When I have time, I do it myself, but I don't have time. It's Boathouse. They know what the A means. Don't put that in the comments because TikTok will be tripping. Okay. They know what the A is. They can just go Google Eldon Blood Typing Kit. You received your products 2 weeks ago. You love them. Then you need to be an affiliate. If y'all are taking my products and y'all have at least 1,000 followers on TikTok, y'all need to be an affiliate. Because I pay you $10 per product that you sell from your page. That's the only freaking stipulation. When I told y'all about that before, I didn't know that TikTok required that you have to have 1,000 followers, but that is the stipulation. Where else are y'all gonna make $10 from referring somebody to a product that you use and love anyway? So if you got 10 people per day that sees your video and buys that, that's $100 a day. Why y'all not doing that? Why y'all not doing that? That's neither here nor there. Okay. If you do not know your blood type, that is step 1. Step number 2, chill is amazing. I told you I'm coming up off this high blood pressure medication or this anxiety medication, and I'm going back on my chill after I see this doctor. Okay. Because chill has 4 different ingredients in it that, let me pin it because this is always a product everybody needs to have. Because even if you are in the middle of having an anxiety attack, you can take chill and it will stop you from having that anxiety attack. I have had that happen several times. That's when I started taking the chill consistently, because when I first started taking it, I was only taking it when I was feeling overwhelmed. But then it didn't make sense for me to just take it when I was feeling overwhelmed. I need to never feel overwhelmed. So then I started just taking it every day. And that way, the anxiety attacks never got there. My anxiety never got high. My blood pressure never got high. Okay. So there are 4 different ingredients in the chill that literally lower your blood pressure. Miss Angie, if you have 1,000 followers, you need to be referring people to chill. Make some money. Y'all know me. I'm all about health and wealth for y'all. I'm trying to put y'all on both ways. Okay. But if you are not on chill, you need to go and get it. Because what is happening to our bodies is because our bodies stay overwhelmed and because our nervous systems can never relax. Oh, I know you're a blood type A, you constantly stay overwhelmed. Blood type A's, whew. I promise you, everybody that is a blood type A needs to be on chill today. Okay? Because y'all are just naturally stressed out. Y'all are also the ones that will trigger diabetes just from being stressed out. I blew out the handicapped stall at a Shell station today. There was a line and I felt shame. You're on the wrong live. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But my mods will take care of that. Crazy question. Your cookbooks are updated with the low sodium diet? Yes. Yep. So hold on. Because our body, you're welcome, because our bodies never have an opportunity to relax, then they never have an opportunity to heal. So because your body is all the time in, imagine that's your body all the time. Just tense, just fight or flight. You don't know if you're getting ready to run or if you're getting ready to fight somebody. That's how your nervous system stays in fight or flight. So when your nervous system stays in fight or flight, then your cortisol is going to be high, your blood sugar is going to be high, your blood pressure is going to be high. All these things are going to be high. Okay? So your body never has an opportunity to, it never feels safe, it never feels relaxed. And all of that stems from slavery. Because for 400 years, our bodies had to stay in ready mode. You know the line, stay ready so you ain't have to get ready? That's literally Black people. You don't know when you about to be sold. You don't know when you about to be beat. You don't know when you about to be raped. You don't know when you about to be hung. You don't know when you about to be none of those things. And so over time, our bodies adapted to that fight or flight situation. And this is what is at the root of our illnesses today, because what that has done, keeping our motor running at all times, it has worn out our organs. So our organs literally age faster than white people's. I hear we're the most schizophrenic too. I wonder why. Black people? You hear that Black people are the most schizophrenic? We'll get to the bottom of that. So when motherfuckers be talking about y'all need to get over slavery and this, that, and the other, we're still walking around with 400 years of slavery in our bodies to this day. We are still walking around with that trauma in our nervous system to this very moment. There is nothing to get over when our body still believes that we are presently still in the moment. You said one of your old therapists told you that Black people were more schizophrenic. Well, let me give you some context to that. The American Psychiatry Association or Psychology Association is the ones that put out those lies about Black people. Hold on, I'll read it to you. They issued an apology. They issued an apology for the lies that they created about Black people. Hold on, let me go pull it up because I got it. Mhm. In 2021, I told y'all. They did it. When the apology came out, I told you. I read it on TikTok Live. And even though they came out and said that, nothing's changed. Everybody's still walking around believing that Black people are this or Black people are that, and Black people are so quick to this, and we're so angry, and we're all of these different things. All of that pathology was created by the American Psychology Association in order to justify criminalizing Black people. I have so many facts in here. Hold on. I just got to find the right one. I was wondering what that dripping sound was. I forgot Jordan watered the plants today. That was weird. Hold on. Too many facts. I'm just got to find the right one. Well, I'll just bring up the apology letter. From the American Psychology Association. One moment. Because it's also in my new book, Both Sides of the Whip. Okay. Hold on, he's taking a long time. Come on, Kimmy, what are you doing? Kimmy ain't never been slow before. Here we go. Below is the full text of the American Psychology Association. Look. I'll read it to you. Below is the full text of the American Psychology Association's historic apology on October 29th, 2021. Word for word, followed by the specific lies they confessed and the money they admitted to taking, and the repair plan they now fund, all biomarker receipt verified. Remember when I first started off the live and I was telling y'all that Quest Diagnostic is who keeps all of the biometric receipts? All these diagnostic companies that we have today are the ones that keep the receipts, all the things that go on in our body, our cortisol levels after specific events, the melanocytes in our hair, our everything. If we're so unimportant, why are they logging everything that has to do with Black people? Every single thing dealing with Black people is measured and marked and recorded. Number one, the apology, word for word, October 29th, 2021. The American Psychological Association apologizes to Black communities for promoting and perpetuating systemic racism through psychological research, education, and practice. Tap the screen to share the live. We condemn ourselves for using our authority to label Black people as inherently pathological, justifying segregation over policing and forced sterilization, and failing to challenge racist policies. We pledge to dismantle racist structures and repair the harm by returning resources to Black communities. The specific lies they confessed to. the lies they spread. Black people have a lower IQ. Does that sound familiar? Who do they always describe as low IQ? Where can I find this? Google it. I literally told you what it was called. I literally said that. Y'all are going to have to stop being so goddamn lazy. If I said it's an apology letter from the American Psychological Association, why the fuck can't you take that and type that shit in to fucking Google? You just got here. Y'all say that every single time. Well, now you have it. Listen, Black people have lower IQs. Who always says Black women specifically have lower IQs? Who does he always say that about? Black women. Jasmine Crockett, Kamala Harris. And then his merry band of hillbillies will also parrot that. Oh, Black women, Jasmine Crockett, she's a low IQ individual. Kamala Harris, she's a low IQ individual. Now, mind you, we are literally the smartest group of people in the country. Literally. This was pushed between 1916 and the 70s. The damage done, segregated schools, and sterilization laws. The biomarker receipt. In the 30s, the Army Alpha test, Black recruits were labeled morons. Black recruits in the Army were labeled morons. Can you imagine? Your great grandfather or your grandfather labeled as a fucking moron, and you know goddamn well he wasn't no fucking moron. And their cortisol was 1.6 times higher than everyone else's because of the stress they had to live through. Lie number 2, Black children are inherently violent. How many times have y'all recently heard that? When describing sending in the National Guard to DC, Orange Man literally said, Black kids are violent. I remember it because I posted about it. That was their way of justifying sending in the National Guard and then also trying to change the law that said 13-year-olds will be tried as adults. This was pushed between the 60s and the 90s. The damage that it did was zero tolerance for adult court transfer. 1998 biomarker receipt, 1998 youth hair study. Black teens labeled super predators. Our cortisol was a flat line of times 1.8. What that mean? When we say flat line, flat line means your cortisol does not go up or down. It just stays the same all the time. So by them looking at Black teens' hair in the 90s, they will see that their cortisol is just, their stress is just high all the time. It's the same all the time. I remember, can you put in the comments who used the super predator comments? Let's see how your memories are. Do y'all remember who used the super predator comment? Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. I remember it like it was yesterday. She called our kids super predators. That's why when she came back around with that hot sauce in her bag swag, I was like, I'm not saying I didn't vote for her, because the only choice we had was her or Orange Man. I damn sure wasn't voting for Orange Man. So she was definitely the lesser of two evils, which is usually the case, isn't it? Number 3, lie. Forced sterilization, adult court transfer. So, and these are the years that it was pushed. 1951 to 1976, the HeLa cells. The HeLa cells came from Henrietta Lacks, right? Henrietta Lacks was sterilized without consent, and the cells, her cells to this day, are still sold at $1,200 a vial. Henrietta Lacks, who they experimented on, who they discovered the Black woman gene, this gene, the mitochondrial gene that no one else has but us, is used for everything. It's not just used for cancer. It's used for everything. Her cells to this day are still sold for $1,200 a vial, and her family does not see $1 to this day. They did every experiment possible on this woman, then stole her cells. And because they discovered this Eve gene, that's where they discovered it. That Black women have the Eve gene, that literally we are the first people on this fucking planet. We are the ones. It's us. I don't give a fuck how much y'all try to change that, how much you try to protest against it, how you try to make white, blonde hair, blue-eyed ice queens the women of the world, and you spin a story of Adam and Eve and how Eve was created from his fucking rib and all that shit. First of all, your rib ain't strong enough to create a Black woman. The bottom line of all of this is Black people need to understand how powerful we are. They already know how powerful we are. It's us that doesn't recognize how powerful we are. So what are you doing? I'm trying to see it's not letting me get over there. Let me close this out. Come back. Hold on. Okay. All right. So the next lie, Black women, it doesn't let me finish with the Henrietta Lacks thing. Oh, here it is. Basically, what the Henrietta Lacks thing also did was made the American Psychology Association say that Black women were oversexed. We are oversexed. We are hypersexual. We just want it all the time. We're hot and ready. Like some goddamn bread fresh out the fucking oven. This was pushed between 1851 and 1970s. That's them. We the hot and ready, fresh out the oven buns. When it's really all the time been them. So this was pushed between 1851 and 1970. They perpetuated the lie of Black women just being hypersexual. So what did that force? What did that do? Forced sterilization and adult court transfer. This is why there are so many times in our history where they have forced sterilization on Black women. Because they got to control us. We're like fucking rabbits. We're just popping out babies. And then there was Black men are naturally criminal. These are all the things that the American Psychology Association said about Black people, the lies that they then had to apologize to us for. Black men are naturally criminal. Orange Man said that literally a couple of months ago. That's been perpetuated from the 1970s to 2020s. That's how recent they have been That's how recent they have been pushing the narrative. It's 2026. All the way up until 2020, they have been telling everybody that Black men are more criminal than white men. What damage did it cause? Over-policing and longer sentences for Black men. Over-policing of our neighborhoods and our communities and longer sentences. The 2020, this is the biomarker receipt. The 2020 DOJ report, Black men were sentenced 1 in 9. Where is the? I don't know if y'all can hear that water dripping. The 2020 DOJ report, Black men are sentenced 1 and 1.9 times longer for the same crime as white men. The cortisol spiked recorded in prison hair. Prison hair. I told you every single thing about us is recorded, especially if you are in prison. When you are in prison, you are still an experiment. They are sterilizing you. Y'all don't hear about even up until 2020, there was a big lawsuit filed in California, Arizona, and New Mexico, I think, where the women were suing the prison system because they had been forcefully sterilized. So the money, they admitted, right? The APA journals between 1916 and 2020, they took in $4.2 million in subscription revenue from articles labeling Black people as pathological. The APA accredited programs from the 1970s to 2020 trained 78% of psychologists who testified in adult court transfers of Black youth, zero royalty until 2021 apology. They trained the psychologists that were used as expert witnesses when transferring young Black kids into the adult prison system. The Gila cells royalty, APA journal cited Gila, which is the Henrietta Lacks cells, Black-derived cells. They cited her cells 11,000 times. Zero royalties to the Lacks family until 2021 apology. The repair plan, they now fund $1 million seed grant to Black Mental Health Reparations Fund, 2022 to 2026. Where's that at? Royalty clause. Any APA journal citing Gila-derived research must pay 5 cents per citation to Henrietta Lacks Foundation starting in 2023. Anytime they mention her sales, they got to pay 5 cents. 5 cents. Curriculum purge. They removed 14 textbooks that promoted racist IQ theories. This was 2022 and 2020, between 2022 and 2024. Training overhaul, mandatory anti-racism module for all accredited psychology programs starting in 2025. But where's the problem? Where's the problem, you say? A powerful association created lies and stereotypes and branding of Black people in this country that then spread all over the world. The reason everyone in the world hates Black people, because that's always a question I see all the time. Why does everybody hate Black Americans? That's why. When you have powerful associations and a president and an administration that literally still spreads the lies that this association created, is why. Yep. So everybody in the world sees Black men as criminals, see Black women as hypersexual and oversexed. It's not that foreigners like us so much. Foreigners really do be liking us. They like the fact that they think that you are hypersexual and that you're easy. Italian men love Black women. No, they like the fact that you're easy, because that's what they have been told to believe. So now everywhere you go and everywhere you travel, when you think that they like Black women simply because we're Black women, we're beautiful. No, it's because they think that they can fuck you. That's why when I travel, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. And also, I will tell you, they think the same way about us in Africa too. They think the same thing about Black American women in Africa, that we are hypersexual, we are ghetto, we are all of these things. Yes, they do. I've heard it all while I was there. Yep. She said, damn, it's true. They don't see us as their sisters. They see us as somebody they can cheat on their wives with. So the biomarker receipts for the lies that these places told. The 2022 APA funded hair study, Black Americans who read low IQ articles, 1950 to 1980, show 1.9% higher rates of flatline cortisol versus non-readers. The lie became biology. That makes you sad? It is what it is. Nothing to be sad about. We just need to fix it. 2023 APA funded saliva study. Black youth exposed to super predator media. This was in the 90s. Show 2.5 times the amygdala spike at police images. The lie became reflex. So what that means is when they're testing black kids that they classify as super predators, their amygdala shows a spike every time they see images of police. That is now in our DNA. This is why our bodies react the way that they react. It becomes a reflex. The bottom line, the APA didn't just apologize for words, they apologized for turning lies into biology, patents into profit, and reflexes into prison. So because those black youths have the reflex of run, a police officer is going to kill you. What's the first thing out of a police officer's mouth when they catch you, when they finally catch you? Why'd you run? Your babies are traumatized. Why'd you run? If you ain't do nothing wrong, why'd you run? Because it's our reflex to fucking run from the cops. Just as it was our reflex to run from the overseer that was trying to drag you back to the plantation. The apology is only useful if we collect the royalty of 5 cents per citation. It's already written in their ledger. Ain't none of us getting paid no royalty from these people. Yet we still live underneath these lies and these stereotypes, which only adds to our stress as living in this country. So when y'all are like, I'm leaving America, I said, and I'll say it again, no matter where you go, you're still a nigga. No matter where you go, you're still a nigga. No matter where you go, you're still a nigga. No matter where you go, you're still a nigga. This will be on the highlight reel. No matter where you go, you still a nigga. No matter where you go, you still a nigga. No matter where you go, you still a nigga. No matter where you go, you still a nigga. No matter where you go, you still. But at least now you know the root of it, right? At least now you know where it came from. The lies. The lies. The lies. Yet, every day, we are put in a position where we have to go out and prove that we are not these lies. Don't we? How much stress do you think that adds to your everyday life? That you have to live your fucking life under a microscope because of the lies that people have believed about us, the stereotypes they have believed about us. Every day, you have to prove that you're not hypersexual as a Black woman. No matter what room you walk into, no matter how fabulous your fucking 3-piece suit is and your Louboutins and your fucking briefcase, and you come into that room for business, every fucking white man and Black man in that room is looking at you to drop to your fucking knees and every last one of them. And they make their little jokes behind your back. Oh, I know Tracy wants it. The last job I had, the very last time I worked for anybody, I had this white boss that called me at 11 o'clock at night and asked me what I was wearing. Called me up drunk. Called my house phone. Drunk. Slurring. Well, what are you wearing? I said, none of your fucking business, but I'll see you tomorrow. And I quit on the spot. That's the last job I ever had. The EEOC is very, very rare. Yeah. They're fantasizing about you right now. It don't matter who they are. A white man is fantasizing about a black man, about a black woman right now. A white man is fantasizing about a black woman right now. I don't care how racist they appear, how hillbilly like they are. They're fantasizing about a black woman right now, laying next to Becky. Do, 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 do. Clock it. It does track because it's true. Just like she's laying in bed thinking about a BBC. They, as a race, are thinking about us right now. Period. What we're doing, what we will be doing, what we're wearing, what our hair is doing, what that thing do. They're right now, we're in their head, all of them. Every last one of them. I don't care how old they are. They remembering that one time they had sex with that black woman way back in the 30s. He romanticizes it, but I'm pretty sure it was rape. They're thinking about us right now. Every last one of them. Every time a white woman sees a black man on TV, she's not repulsed. She wishes he was in her right now. She's looking over her pasty white, can't go out in the sun motherfucking husband, wishing he was a black African man with a thing of the thing hanging down to his goddamn kneecaps. Every day. Every motherfucking day. So, how do they try to hide it? Because they always act like they don't like us. It's overkill. It's literally overkill. They think that the more they act like they don't like us, it covers up their fucking lust for us. They want to consume us, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. This is what Sinners was about. They want to possess us. They want to be us so bad. And that jealousy that they keep trying to keep deep down, and they pile more and more shit on it like you're piling bricks on something, just trying to keep it from bubbling up, is what's making them psychotic. Thank you, Roger. It's what's making them psychotic. It's what's making them sociopathic and psychological and psychopathic. This is science. It's in the books. I'm not saying something that I'm just making this shit up or it's my opinion. I'm telling you that scientifically, this is what is at the root of their problems. Because they know that they are not superior, because they know that they are not at the top of the hierarchy, because they know that all of these things that they have put in place, like we've earned this country, we've passed it down, they know that every single thing about them is a lie. And when you have to walk around with that level of guilt, and all you can do is to keep it pushed down as much as you possibly can in order for it to not continue to bubble up, it's going to crack your brain. Because you have two things living in your body at the same time. You have your mind and you have your spirit. And your spirit and your body are on one accord, but they are also against your mind. Okay? So if you cannot bring your mind and your body and spirit into alignment, you are going to have this internal fights that will never end. And this is why white people are struggling as much as they are struggling with. So when you go and look at the statistics, they drink more alcohol than we do. They take more opioid. This is why there's an opioid addiction problem. This is why this administration is all about getting drugs off the street and all this, that, and the other, because it's them that are taking the drugs more than us. They did not use drugs, the war on drugs, to do anything but put Black people in prison. They did not do any of the things that they're doing to try to save white people. They don't put drug rehabs in place and all these programs in place. And if it was about drug usage, then it would have been rehab centers for everybody that was on crack. Crackheads were sent to jail. Crackheads were not sent to rehab. Hello? Crackheads were sent to jail. Meth heads are sent to rehab. So the reason they have all of these young white youths doing meth and stealing grandma's opioids and all of that, and this opioid epidemic that they had, is because their minds are cracked. And they have to stay high at all times in order to live with the guilt of what their body knows they have perpetrated in this country. So they have to medicate their minds to keep their minds from agreeing with their bodies and their spirits. The only thing that is going to save white people, if they want to be saved from this evil, is to get on in accord with their mind and their body. For them to acknowledge and admit that everything that they believe is a lie. But they will never do that. This is why they're going to go down in flames. Because rather than admit the lie, they can never do away with the lie. Look at the big lie that was perpetuated just recently. The big lie that they knew was a lie so bad, but they had to go as far with it as they possibly could, which, what was the culmination of that? Storming the Capitol. Every single one of those people that stormed the Capitol knew it was a lie. Every one of them. But because they will never admit the lie, they are going to choose violence. Yeah. Hi. So instead of saying, you know what, old dude lost, let's just go ahead and accept that Sleepy Joe is the president. Let's just go ahead, work together, move forward. They will never do that. Just like they stole all of the land, they reclassified the indigenous, Afro-Indigenous, and the foundational blacks as Africans. They did all of this in order to cover up their lies. They went through and killed all the black landowners so that they could transfer the land deeds to them. They stole everybody's oil. They did all this stuff. They had so many genocides in this country that nobody is paying any attention to history. You know who pays attention to history? Our bodies. Because our bodies to this day are still walking around with 400 plus years of history. So you want to know why you're sick? The only way to heal is to learn history. Healing comes through history. Hi, Bubba. Hi, man. You must have been asleep. It was so peaceful. It was so peaceful. Here he comes. Hopefully he doesn't come with the bullshit. Hopefully he doesn't come with the bullshit. Hi, Bubba. We leave him alone. That's what had happened. That's what had happened, y'all. That's what had happened. So there's going to be more. What is it? What is it you do? Come here, Bubba. So there's going to be more violence because as the truth, and I told y'all this a few weeks ago, as the truth continues to tumble out, he just be grounding himself. Fast has a very deep voice. Yeah, like Lanier. That y'all have to understand that's how he talks. Y'all don't be saying, did y'all say that Barry White sounded mean? Or did y'all say that he had a voice that was velvety? That's the way he talks. Your little dog talks like that. He's a big ass 95-pound dog. He ain't supposed to be sounding like no Shih Tzu. Barry White's one of my favorites. His voice was smooth. So when I think about how Fats is communicating with me, I think of Barry White. He's got a deep voice for a big brown man. Barry White was big, brown, and hairy, and so is Fats. Facts. Just is what it is. I love it. I love Barry White. Barry White is one of my all-time favorites. I could just listen to his music all day. Do I love Jesus and God? Gaslighting. Oh, I told y'all we were going to talk about the 50 gaslighting terms, right? Hold on. Let me see where I put them. I'm going to put the 50 gaslighting terms. So y'all can stay on top of it. Y'all can stay on top of it. Practice what you preach. Let me see if I can find it. Y'all need to go follow me on the tube as well, so y'all don't ever lose me. Okay, because y'all know they might keep me around because I'm divisive, and apparently TikTok likes that. They might keep me around because what I'm seeing is all these people are making these videos talking about finding your niche and getting your niche following and creating a cult like following on TikTok. Which to me seems like they're just leaning into their darkness. It's just like, oh, okay. So again, that might keep me around just because I'm divisive. I don't know how I'm divisive. I'm just telling y'all the truth, but the truth is divisive. So I forgot to tell y'all this part. This is also going to be in one of the volumes of the book, How Money Heals the Body as well. When income becomes stable and predictable, the body begins to repair itself. Why do y'all think I was so into Jesus child? That's not the topic. Why do y'all think I'm still into pushing y'all into being involved in Black Sheep Sweeps in order for us to start creating more Black community-based businesses? Because if we follow the history and we follow the trends, and I don't know how many of you guys saw that video, but it is true. The years that America was in the Great Depression were the same years that we were going through the Harlem Renaissance. Okay. So while they were down, we were on the come up. And if you look throughout history, whenever it is that they are financially down, we are financially up. That is a trend. It didn't stop. It's still here. And this is why I push for a Black business renaissance. That's literally a domain that I own. Like anybody that has any type of creativity, now is the time that you need to start positioning that to profit from it. Because there is a renaissance happening. It's just beginning, and y'all need to tap into that shit. The only reason you don't have what you want is that you don't position yourself to receive when it comes about. Thank you. You're not positioning yourself to win. I'm not speaking to those that have already invested in Black Sheep Sweeps. I'm talking to the ones that don't know anything about it, or the ones that have been waiting. Okay. The reason you don't have what you want is that you don't put yourself in the position. That's number one. Number two, expecting things to always happen on your time. Okay. A lot of people get frustrated with waiting. When even in the Bible, it says, tarry till I come. What that means is do your work until I arrive. So a lot of people look at people that are lucky, or they will say that they're lucky, when really they're just people that have been preparing for this moment. Luck doesn't just happen. It just is, it hits you when you're prepared to receive it. Okay. So I say all that to say, please think about what it is you are good at. Think about what it is you have a natural talent for, and find a way to fucking monetize that shit. Okay? Whether that is with me and us, or you on your own, do it. Do you have any baby oil left or what? Where are all these silly ass white people coming from? Like now I have 1,000 views on the live. It'll jump back down to 150 in a minute. Where all these silly ass white people coming from? And what is with white people saying shit about Diddy? Why are they so fascinated with Diddy? Do y'all know? So, how making money heals the body? When income becomes stable and predictable, the body begins to repair itself. Research shows financial security is associated with lower cortisol, which is your body's stress hormone. Can the mods please get rid of the people that are so fascinated with the baby oil? Having financial security also gives you better insulin sensitivity. It lowers your inflammation. You get a stronger immune function, fewer heart attacks and strokes, and improved mental health. In simple words, money doesn't just change your life, it changes your biology. No, don't mute Cian. She's not. Don't unmute Cian. She's not that person. Okay. So own your piece, own your platform. This is the mindset of Black Sheep Sweeps. Okay. Black Sheep Sweeps is Black owned. White people, y'all can come and play if you want to. I don't care. But it's owned by Black people, and Black people are the ones to make money from it, because we are the ones that contribute heavily to the gaming industry, but we are not owners. Okay. And that is something that we need to be focusing our time and our energy on, and our money. So instead of us continuing to allocate our funds to white industries, we need to be reallocating our money to Black industries. And if that means creating our own lanes, which I'm famous for doing, then that's what we will have to do. Because in order for us to create sovereignty and to create the freedom that we want to have, we have to have money. Okay. So how did they do it between the 1920s and the 1970s? Running the numbers. Them creating an underground lottery system is how Black people made more money than white people during that period of time. So when white people were going through the Great Depression, we were creating our own parallel economy. And the thing that held up the community was running the numbers. So the biggest employer in the Black community in all of these cities that had Black enclaves, Baltimore, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, DC, all of these places all had these Black enclaves that were doing the same thing, running the numbers, employing runners, employing their little community banks, enforcers, whatever the fuck they were. And then they were also able to loan out money to create Black businesses, restaurants, dry cleaners, movie theaters, bowling alleys, grocery stores, pharmacies. So the reason that we were self-contained, and the reason that that created a threat for white America, it all started with running numbers. And the main thing that keeps white America from paying Black people reparations is, number one, they don't want to tell the truth. But the biggest threat to white people and America as it stands today is Black people's economic independence. That's what they fear the most, because it is our black dollar that holds up their white dollar. And if our black dollar was taken out of circulation, then the whole economy in America would crash. That's what all of it is about. Everything that pertains to black people is about money. So whether that's our bodies that they still use to experiment on, our medical waste that they still use to experiment on and sell our cells and sell our blood and sell all these other things pertaining to us, extracting the chemicals, the tyrosine and things that create the melanin in our body to use on submarines and crazy shit that you just would not ever believe is fucking real, is fucking real. Do you know that your OLED TV screens contain black people's melanin? I'll wait for you to absorb that information. Your OLED television screens that you have in your house right now are made from the melanocytes of black people. Look at that good boy over there. Look at him. Just on patrol. Yes. 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 Sure is. Go look it up. You know what's funny? When I look up this super black shit on our regular AIs or on Google, that information is not there. But when I look for the information on the Chinese AI, all of that information is there. All the science is there. Did y'all know that? Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm looking up the 50 gaslighting terms. I have so much shit to do. So I got the book back, and now I have to break the book up into volumes. I'm still working with the two Nigerian ladies. So when I get off of here tonight, I have to work on that. So I'm hoping to get that finished in the next couple of days so that they can do the finishing up of it. Oh, also, what site or app? What? I don't understand the question. Also, Jordan and I found this other way to get our books done. There is an app called Books.by, I think is the name of the app. They do the same thing that the other one does, where our other books are. It's called Kimi AI. Kimi AI. Just go Google it. So this new thing does it, but they're only paperbacks, but it does it faster and apparently better than the A. Okay. So Jordan spent all last night and part of today putting all of our books there. And he just sent over the, hold on. Just sent over the link. Oh, this is nice. So it's Mama Trade Books. The address is books.by/Mama Trade Books. I'm probably going to get a violation for saying that. But it's books.by, BY/Mama Trade Books. Okay. All of our books are there. So the hidden cost of being Black in America, all 4 of the Life by Type books. Have y'all seen the Life by Type books? I just posted pictures of those today, the covers. And so when I show you this, like you can see that there's a chain in our DNA. Okay. We have to break these chains. We have to learn the truth about what's going on in order for us to heal our bodies. Because every single thing that happens to us changes our DNA. That's what epigenetics are. So every single traumatic thing that happens to us puts an imprint, essentially, on our genes. And over time, that will cause our genes to change. So the most common diseases, oh, I didn't show you over here. Hold on. So over time, what happens is this now becomes the way our bodies work. I keep forgetting I'm on all 3 of these things. Okay. So here we are today with this susceptibility to kidney disease, this susceptibility to high blood pressure, this susceptibility to diabetes, this susceptibility to congestive heart failure. Okay. Those are the 4 most common ailments we as Black people suffer from. Well, why? Why has no one ever asked why are we more prone to these things? Yeah, I've also updated the foods list. So now there's the foods list, but also when you get the foods list, it will have the links to the products that you guys should be using in order to get where you're trying to go. So it has a products list that you can link on and will take you directly to the site to purchase that product. Because somebody asked me about putting it together a list. Well, I can tell you about sickle cell. The sickle cell gene is from African bodies adapting. This is why all Black people, this should be a clue for y'all. This should be a clue. Listen to what I'm saying, right? If sickle cell only affects Black people, how come it only affects certain Black people? How come not all Black people have the sickle cell gene? Anyone? Anyone have any guesses why? Does anyone have any guesses why? The sickle cell gene is African. It's so sad what they do to us with the bad food. I eat my Nigeria way, the way mama fixed it. Keep doing it. Keep doing what works. The sickle cell gene is African. And how it developed is people were dying from a particular disease that they had coined as the sleeping disease. Okay. So that sleeping disease was killing Africans in droves. So over time, their body developed a defense to it. And that was a cell that grew sickles on the outside of it to protect them, to protect their blood from this sleeping disease. When our bodies develop into these different things, it's literally to keep us alive. Any adaptation that your body does over time, it is to keep you alive from the environment that you live in. So the people that have sickle cell and the sickle cell gene are descendants of Africans. We as indigenous Black people are not descendants of Africans. We are indigenous, Afro-indigenous. Ta-da! Could it be just like diabetes does not affect everybody? No. I said what I said. Go look it up. Just like y'all walk around all day thinking that diabetes comes from you eating sugar, right? I'll wait. Put it in the comments. Don't most people, when they think of diabetes, they think of sugar? What you down there doing, Juju? What's up? What you up to? Your coworker died from sickle cell? A niece of mine. No, it was lupus. It's not from sugar. So if you know what it's from, put it in the comments. TLC, the girl from TLC suffers from. I thought she suffered from lupus. Fats, I am doing my job. What do you want? What? Come here. You ain't gonna do nothing but jump to the wall. Okay. Anything else? I'll be done when I'm done. Go play with your friend. Go play with your friend. You said it's from the food we eat. You said it's from lack of insulin. Hold on. Well, let's talk about it. Did you know that Black people's pancreases became resistant to insulin because of slavery? I literally talked about this yesterday. Did I go live yesterday? Last time I went live, whatever day it was, maybe it was Friday. Yeah, it wasn't Friday. It was Friday. Didn't you say it's because we have a certain gene called AP? That's kidney. That's kidney. But that's also African. That's for kidneys. The APOL1 gene. Okay. On Friday, I explained to you that Black people's pancreas became tough and resistant to insulin because of the starvation tactics that were used against us during slavery. So over time, our bodies adapted to that. And now our children are born with smaller and tougher pancreases, our babies. That also contributes to low birth weight in Black babies. So yeah, we're wired to have diabetes. How come our doctors didn't tell us that? But they keep writing those prescriptions for those diabetes drugs, don't they? Yeah, but that's gaslighting, right? Doctors, you know how you'll say, why is it that doctors don't know anything about food or don't talk to us about food? It's funny that doctors are taught how to gaslight us, though. That's part of the marketing. Doctors are taught how to gaslight their patients to keep them coming back. You fix it through food. You fix it through nervous system regulation. It can be fixed. of this stuff that we're talking about, this is the reason I would not write the books if it couldn't be fixed. How we can fix it. Do you have natural herbs? Again, y'all just want to buy a product when it requires changing your habits. There's no herbs that you're going to take that's going to reverse anything. I have a whole supplements company. I would love to sit up and sell you all of these products every day and make you believe that they're going to heal your body. But if you do not change your eating habits, nothing is going to change. And the thing is, everything is reversible. Don't ever let them motherfuckers make you believe that you have something that cannot be reversed. Because the simple question that you need to remember is, how did I get here? So once you find out the answer to the how did I get here, then all you do is reverse engineer that shit. They never want you to ask the question, how did I get here? Because even if you ask your doctor, how did I get here? He's going to say, I don't know. Genetics, it runs in your family. He's going to give you the same fucking gaslighting answers every time. And because in your mind, you're thinking, well, if they don't know, how would I know? It's how to get you. You should have hope. Do y'all realize how sick I was before I went to get diagnosed with congestive heart failure in September? Do y'all remember how fucking sick I was? I was on this live every day, coughing, I was hanging on by a thread, still coming on here doing the goddamn lives. I was hanging on by a thread. I literally took my life in my hands to go see Beyonce. Because I said, if I'm going to die, I want to die at the Beyonce concert, goddamn it. Because goddamn it, we done paid $800 for these tickets. We are not missing this fucking show. Only death can keep me from it. I was literally in here having fucking heart attacks and did not know what the problem was. And I'm going to tell you, all of that was used to bring me where I am today talking to you about this topic. Because before all of that happened, we weren't talking about this at all, were we? This is why the white people are mad at me. Because I have evolved in the information that I am now giving y'all. Because the information that I was giving y'all before was just the tip of the fucking iceberg. It was just the superficial level of healing. It wasn't the real healing. So in order for us to really reverse the shit that we're going through and not just managing symptoms, then we got to get to the heart of the matter. And the heart of the matter is all the shit that has been done to us is still living in our bodies. So the only way to deal with trauma is to name the trauma. You're walking around with this nervous system that's always on. You're like, what the fuck? Why do I feel like this? And if you don't know, it'll make you crazy. You're going to see therapists, you're going to see psychiatrists, you laying on the couch and you can't understand why you feel like a crazy person. And they're not going to tell you why you feel like a crazy person. They're just going to write you a prescription. You have to name the trauma. You have to name the illness. I was sick for all those months and did not know why I was sick. I thought it was my lungs. I thought my sarcoidosis had come back. I thought my asthma had come back. I thought all of these different things. And until I was courageous enough to go to the fucking hospital, and y'all know exactly how I feel about these goddamn hospitals and doctors. So I must have been on my last fucking leg for me to drag my ass into a fucking hospital. right? But it was the best thing I ever did because they told me it was none of these things that you suspect. It's congestive heart failure. And even before I went into the hospital, I told Jordy, I said, I think I have congestive heart failure. And he was like, what? I said, I think that's what it is. No, I didn't want to go. Why the fuck would I want to go to a place where there's all this medical racism? I had experienced that medical racism personally. And even while I was there, I experienced medical racism. Remember the doctor that told me I was being extra? The one that was trying to push me into getting a procedure I didn't need to have? But the one thing that put me on this path that I'm on right now is I took my laptop when they told me they had to keep me, and I sent Jordan home because we only live like 10 minutes from the hospital. I told Jordan, bring me my laptop, bring some clothes or whatever. That's why you didn't want to go, because yes, wouldn't you stay away from something that hurt you before? Y'all are going to have to employ some common sense. If you have experienced something before, the trauma in your body still lives there. So the trauma I experienced from dealing with doctors before still lived in my body. So your body will have a reaction to this situation that you've been through before, and you will not know what that reaction is from. Why do you feel anxious when you walk into a hospital? Why do you feel anxious when you walk into a doctor's office? Because I've had this experience before, and it was bad, and it was negative. Your body keeps receipts. No matter what your mind does to protect you, your mind does so much work protecting you from trauma. Y'all don't even understand it. That's half the reason why most of y'all are exhausted all the time, is because your mind keeps you from the trauma you have experienced. Some of y'all don't even remember some of the shit that you have been through because your mind has made you forget it, until you are faced with that situation again and all of those memories come breaking through. Happens every time. It happens every time. So when you're walking around through life and you're having these bodily reactions to stuff, whether it's chills or hives or anxiety or stiffness or whatever it is because you are literally in a position that you've been in before. And your body's like, holy shit, I got to protect her from this situation. I've got to alert her to this situation. That's what your body does. Okay. So no, I didn't want to go to the doctor. No, I didn't want to go to the hospital. Absolutely not. I didn't want to go through what I had gone through before. Absolutely fucking not. Yeah, here we go again. So you have to start listening to your body. You have to. Our body, they are amazing. I'm telling you. I have said this to y'all for years. The only thing you should submit yourself to, and the only thing you should ever humble yourself to, is your own body. Because your body be knowing. Your body is going to do whatever is necessary to keep your ass alive. Do you know why? Because the human body is made up of mostly bacteria. And that bacteria is alive. It is alive. It is thinking. It is working. It is doing its thing. And in order for that bacteria to continue to live, it has to protect you. And that's why I said the easiest thing for us to do is to get on one accord and to be friendly with the bacteria that runs the body. And so what that means is stop eating the foods your body's bacteria does not like. Start feeding it the food it does like and it does respond to well, because it's going to be the biggest warrior for you. It's going to protect your immune system. It's going to protect your brain. It's going to protect your organs. It's going to protect everything. But if you keep eating contrary to what it likes, if you keep missing out on minerals and nutrients that it needs to stay strong, then it's going to fail you because it doesn't have the strength to save you. That's how y'all have to start thinking about it. That's what it is. Thank God for the bacteria in your body, because you wouldn't even be alive today. Thank God. This is literally a whole universe. Every single thing that you need is already in there. Like a car. Everything that your car needs to work and to operate properly, it's already built into the car. But in order to make the car go, it needs fuel. And that's the thing you need to constantly do, is to put fuel in your car in order for it to go. The machine is already perfection, but you have to feed it. And that feeding of that machine is either going to be for its good or for its bad. It's either going to be for its good or it's going to be for its extinction. That's why you need to find out what your blood type is, because all 4 blood types have a different digestive system. Why? Because over the centuries of evolution, our bodies have adapted to our surroundings. It has adapted to the foods we're eating. It has adapted to the sunlight we are getting. It has adapted to all of these different things in every environment. Why? What's the common goal for your body? To live, right? So if you're living in a place that the sun is hot, that this is happening, the sun is burning your skin, what are you going to do? You're going to have to put on clothes to protect your skin from the sun. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that. All of these things are required. So over time, though, your internal will also adapt. So let's use white people as an example. White people are from the Caucasus Mountains. What's the difference between the Caucasus Mountains and Africa? Put in the comments. What's the difference? So, over centuries, you're a white person living in an extremely cold area. How can your body protect you? More insulation. That explains. It's funny how they have gone around saying that our skin is thicker than theirs. Our skin is not thicker than their skin. Their skin is literally like pig skin. That's why they're always so fascinated with our skin, because it feels completely different. They have more hair on their bodies, which is funny how they always call us monkeys and apes, isn't it? Isn't it? Literally, Africans don't have no hair on their bodies. Africans look like they have been through electrolysis. Go look at Africans. They are hairless. Why? Because their environment doesn't require extra insulation. White people are hairy. Hairy. This is not a stereotype, I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all, this is biology. Okay? Also, their nose is thinner. Why is their nose thinner? Because if you are constantly breathing cold air, eventually your body is going to try to close up the thing that is breathing in the cold air. Our noses are wider because we are breathing in hot air. So over time, over these centuries, every baby that's born, every generation is going to be more adapted to that environment. It's just science. So all that biblical shit, and you believe in it, all them fairy tales that y'all have adopted and believe in, none of that shit is true. None of those stories of the Babel and all, none of that shit is true. It is just not true. And let me give you another point. Doctors do not believe in God. So for all the times that y'all be running to the fucking doctor, your doctors don't believe in God. Your doctors believe in science. I find it fascinating that y'all be running to these people. And y'all so Christian, but y'all be running y'all little Christian asses over to atheists to take care of you. They do not believe in fairy tales. They believe in science. So when we're looking at the different blood types, we're not only looking at, as humans, we're not only looking at the color of our skin or the texture of our skin or the slant of our eyes. How did Asians get slanty eyes? Asian environments were sandy. I learned this shit when I was 10 years old. Okay? Asians come from an environment that's not too cold, that's not too hot, but they had to contend with sandstorms all the time. So eventually, over time, their eyes became hooded to protect their eyes. Not being racist, it's just a fact. Your body is going to adapt to where you live. Okay? Not only the outside, but also the inside. So if you're looking at blood type A, okay, blood type A's, how did their bodies develop? If everybody started as a meat eater, right? But then you migrate to a place where there's hardly any meat and you have to start relying on the plant life there. So not only are you now living on the plant life that was there originally, but you are now learning how to cultivate, to grow your own vegetables. That's blood type A. So over time, this blood type A started off as an O that had all of this stomach acid, right? But over time, because of what they have been eating, the body is taking in accounting and it realizes, well, we're not eating anything that requires this level of stomach acid. So that's something we can do without. So what happened? over time, as babies and babies and babies and babies and generations are born, each baby is born with less stomach acid than the previous baby. That's adaptation. Because your body is not going to have anything in it that it's not using. Okay? So there's no point for a blood type A to have all of that stomach acid when you're only eating vegetables that are not broken down by stomach acid. Vegetables are broken down by digestive enzymes. So this is why blood type O doesn't have as many digestive enzymes as blood type A. Because blood type A eats foods that basically digest through digestive enzymes, not stomach acid. So why is it that blood type O's have more stomach acid but less digestive enzymes? Because blood type O relies on red meat. And stomach acid is what breaks down red meat. It's very simple shit. Okay? So the problem is you're not eating the right foods for your specific genetics. Once you do start eating the right food for your specific genetics, put in the comments how you guys felt the very first week you started eating for your genetics. Just put in the comments. Just watch these comments. Just in the first 7 days, you're going to feel like a totally different person. Right? Amazing. 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 In the first 7 days, in the first 3 days, I lost 6 pounds of inflammation. You felt like a teenager again. In the first 6 days, first 3 days, I lost 6 pounds of inflammation, painful inflammation, because I had stopped eating the things that were inflaming me. The body's first indication that you are eating something wrong is that it becomes inflamed. Okay? Y'all will call it bloating, but that's inflammation of your intestines. When your intestines become inflamed because you ate something that your intestines can't digest, that's bloating. You felt light and more energy. Exactly. You lost weight and felt lighter. People asked if I was sick. You lost your beer belly. Which we now know is not a beer belly, but it is a cortisol belly. Okay? So you eating the right foods supports the stability of your nervous system as well. Because now your organs don't have to be overworked by trying to digest something that was never supposed to be in there. So when your body is tasked with trying to digest something that doesn't belong there, that's literally like it's trying to take out the trash as quickly as possible. So during that process, some of y'all might experience acid reflux. Okay. Acid reflux is not because you have an overload of acid in your stomach. Acid reflux happens because you've eaten something and your body is trying its best to get it out of your body as quickly as possible before it can do damage. So it is literally pumping all the acid on it to break it down, because our stomach acid is like battery acid in your car. So it's trying to dump as much acid on it as possible, as quickly as possible, to try to break it down as quickly as possible so you can shit it out as quickly as possible. That's acid reflux. So why do you have acid reflux a lot? Because you are eating all the wrong shit. That's it. Looking for a male friend I can confide in. You're on the wrong live. We don't do that shit here. We don't. You're on the wrong live. So let me help you out. Okay. I had to call you out today. I've been hitting a lot of people on the head by accident. I don't recognize. I don't know. Because listen, I used to have a bottle of Tums on my bed. I lived with a bottle of Tums on my bed because I had heartburn every single day. That meant I was eating the wrong shit every single day, right? So what kind of things do you eat? I eat according to my blood type. I eat what is on my foods list, which you guys can go and get on my page right now. Get your foods list. If you know your blood type, get your foods list. Get your cookbooks. Your cookbooks have almost 200 pages. And that also includes low sodium recipes for the Black people that aren't supposed to be having no goddamn salt, no salt. What about your muscle cramps all over your body? Feel like knots. You don't have enough potassium in your body. Your potassium is low. You start having cramps, you don't have enough potassium. Eat a banana and eat some watermelon. The two things that they say are mad niggerish. Isn't that interesting? The two things that can keep you from having issues when you are dealing with low potassium are the things that they say are Black people things. Black people love watermelons. Black people are monkeys. They eat bananas. The reason we eat bananas is because, number one, it lowers your blood pressure because it gives you potassium. You mean the nigger word? I say nigger all the time. Is that the word that shocks you? Is that shocking? Please don't come over here being shocked by the N word. Fuck out of here. Okay. No, it ain't shocking. It's just using. Now we ain't soft over here at all. No, I don't speak softly. I cuss a lot. I use the N word a lot. They just let me do it. What I can't talk about is politics, though. So they get sensitive about that. They don't get sensitive about us saying that nigga. So, yeah. Listen, if you are ever a person that deals with high blood pressure, or you trying to come up off the high blood pressure meds or something like that, you need to always have like some watermelon or some bananas in your house. Okay. I'm a person that already has a high level of potassium, so I don't need extra potassium. So when I was eating bananas, like when I first got out of the hospital and all that stuff, and I was eating potassium rich foods, my potassium got too high very quickly. And I felt really bad and I couldn't figure out, why am I feeling like this? And y'all listen, because I know my body so well, I know when something is off. And I'm trying to get y'all to the point where you also will know your body so well. When you know, then you'll recognize that something is off. Right? So I started feeling a little bit off and I'm like, what am I doing differently? The only thing I was doing differently was I was eating a banana every day. So that was the first clue as to what the fuck is going on. That led me down the rabbit hole of me having my potassium being too high. Exactly. That's exactly right. Hyperkalemia. And so I stopped eating the bananas and I stopped eating anything that was potassium rich. And 2 days later, I was fine. So the time that it took to cycle out of my system, I was fine. And I've never had that feeling ever again. So paying attention to your body and being aware of when it's off is a very necessary thing. Okay. But I'm going to tell you this right now. If you are a Black person, and let me back that up. Black people and white people will benefit from my information. The reason that it always comes off as me only helping Black people is because I'm always going to come from a Black perspective because I am a Black woman. Okay? But the information that I'm giving you is helpful for everybody, especially with the new book, Both Sides of the Whip. It's information for those holding the whip and for those receiving the whip. Okay? I was off today because I ate some Chinese food yesterday. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all earlier. Sidebar. How much sodium is in that one packet of soy sauce? First of all, most Chinese places cook with MSG. I'm highly allergic to MSG. I don't eat MSG in nothing. So whenever I read anything, I have to make sure there's no MSG. A lot of seasonings will have MSG. So I don't buy any seasonings with any MSG. That's monosodium glutamate. Okay? Soy sauce is straight MSG. Yeah. Each little packet is like 1,500. It's 1,500 milligrams because soy sauce is a teaspoon of soy sauce is 1,500 milligrams of sodium. And most of those packets are a teaspoon. And y'all be using 2, 3, 4. When my brother stroked out and died, he had eaten Chinese food 3 days in a row. He was 28. He had eaten Chinese food 3 days in a row. And I've watched my brother put 2 or 3 packets of soy sauce on his food. And then routinely, you'll be having a fucking headache right after. Oh, I got to take some Tylenol. My head hurt. Would you take Chinese food? Hello? Why are you not connecting the dots? Yeah, my mother and my brother both died from strokes. My mother was 41 and my brother was 28. My mother died in 1993 and my brother died in 2000. So, yes, it was some years ago. So, I'll reiterate again for the people that just got in here. Black people are naturally sensitive to salt. Okay? We are naturally sensitive to salt. I'll tell you how we got here. Okay? From centuries of slavery, where they used starvation tactics, they withheld water, they rationed out our food, and they fed us all the wrong foods for our genetics. Over those centuries, our bodies adapted to what we were eating when we were eating it. What that caused our kidneys to do was to then hold on to the salt that was already in our bodies in order to hold on to the water that was already in our bodies. Okay? That adaptation kept us from dying from dehydration. But what that has done, fast forward, it has changed our babies. So whenever a baby is born, that baby automatically is born with a higher baseline of salt, of sodium in their kidneys. So we are walking around as Black people sensitive to salt because we already have a higher baseline of salt than white people did. So when you go and you look at all of these bioengineered foods, which I have a video on my page that has like 3 million views on it. And everyone's so upset about these bioengineering engineered foods. What you're not paying attention to is the sodium. The sodium content. The bioengineered foods, y'all have been eating bioengineered foods for 50 years. That's not new. But what you need to be paying attention to, with the fact that Black people are more susceptible to high blood pressure and chronic kidney disease, is the sodium. That's what's getting you a trip to the doctor. That is what is getting you a stroke. That is what is giving you a heart attack. And your little frozen meals that you get from your favorite little Whole Foods places, your little Trader Joe's. High sodium, all of them. And so you think you're being so cute because you're getting these little tasty meals? Turn it over and look at the sodium content. You're only supposed to have, the average person, which means white people, are supposed to have, an average healthy white person is supposed to have 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. That means as a Black person, you should be having 1,000, if that. Every single whole food in its natural state already has sodium. So there is absolutely no need to add salt to your recipes. There's absolutely no need to add salt to your food. It's worse for you to cook with salt than it is for you to cook your meal and then taste it and then put a little salt on it. Okay? So what about the Black people who still live in Africa and were not taken here as slaves? They have their own set of issues, boo-boo, because they were also colonized. Any place on earth that has been colonized by white people have health issues. Do you know how many renal clinics there are in Nigeria alone? They were never slaves. Why are their kidneys messed up? They got the same amount of renal clinics we have. I was shocked when I was like, why do they have all these renal clinics? What is causing them to have to need dialysis? Africans are born with a gene, and I don't know where that gene stems from. It could be from colonization. Okay, let's think about it for a second. Africa, let's just use Nigeria as an example. Nigeria was colonized too. So when colonizers come into your country, the first thing they do is fuck your food up. First thing they do is destroy your food system, because then you become dependent on them. Jordan, there are plants in here that are just leaking. I don't know where this leaking sound is coming from. It's very weird. So any country that has been colonized, the first thing they wipe out is their food source. That is a tactic. Look at what they did in over there right now with them people over there, and the little, what is it leaking?
This humidifier.
Why? It's just been sitting there minding its business.
I mean,
Oh, you filled it up? Oh, it's not cracked, is it? Look at how they did Gaza. What was the first thing they did? What's the first thing they did? took away their food. Because when you are starving, you will be more compliant. It's funny to me how everyone can recognize how much trauma Barbara O'Neill says use sea salt with water to replace minerals, but could that be dangerous? What color is Barbara O'Neill? Barbara O'Neill is a white Australian woman. What the fuck does that have to do with the black body? Y'all motherfuckers gonna learn we are not the same. Why is it so hard for y'all to fucking accept that we are not the same? Well, we're all the same. We're all one. We're just all part of the human race with different fucking experiences and histories. We are not the same. Y'all love to live in that fucking fairy tale world, that fucking Walt Disney world that you have up in your fucking mind. We are not the same. You're just being a racist and you're just dividing us all. No, what's dividing us all is genetics. Period. That's what's dividing us all. You think because I say it out loud that I'm the problem? Because I say it out loud? Because y'all want to continue to whisper dumb shit and whisper lies and whisper untruths and keep handing down those whispered soft tones lies through generation after generation? They said the quiet part out loud. Fucking say it all out loud, goddammit. So then we all fucking know. Why are y'all so afraid of the quiet part? They said the quiet part out loud. So as long as we keep whispering, they're bigots, they're racist. Every time some white people say some racist shit, the first thing out of other liberal white people's mouths is they said the quiet part out loud. Well then, motherfucker, you as a liberal have always been hearing the quiet part too, right? If in order for you to know what the fucking quiet part is, bitch, you had to be included in that very quiet conversation. Otherwise, how the fuck would we know that it was a quiet part? Don't trust no white liberals either, please. Them the motherfuckers. Them the motherfuckers. Them motherfucking white liberals. That's why we in the position we in right now. I'd rather deal with a goddamn hillbilly, because at least with a motherfucking hillbilly, I know where the fuck I stand. But them slick ass liberals, nah, I'm cool. I'm real cool on that. I'm cool. Yeah, we're all behind Kamala. As soon as they get in that goddamn booth, Trump. We fell for it again. Oh, the white ladies have come around. Oh my God, the white ladies are supporting Kamala. That's what you all were saying. That's what you all were saying. You're so excited that now the white women are coming on Kamala's side. What about sugar? How many milligrams should we have? None. Your body doesn't need sugar. There's no part of your body at all that requires sugar. Your body requires sodium. The way to get sodium into your body is through eating whole foods or eating salt as a mineral, right? But there is not one part of your body's function that requires refined sugar. None. You can go back into centuries. Centuries. We just talked about this on Friday. No refined sugar. If you don't get sugar from your fruit, which most fruit has a lot of sugar, then you don't need to be buying no sugar and don't be putting no sugar on nothing. Your fruit already has enough sugar in it. Okay? We are not the same, my friends. I'm sorry if this upsets you. I'm sorry if it causes you to question who you believe you are. Please go get your food list. It's on my page. You quit sugar over 20 years ago. Only good. I know you over there doing it. Please go get your foods list. Okay? And this foods list is more advanced than the other one because it literally tells you which foods are going to raise or lower your cortisol. So it's not just the simple list. It also does that too. Okay. So it's on my page. To get there, you just tap my name at the top, The Only Mama Trey. Then when the white thing pops up, boop, right on my face. It takes you off the live and to my page. Okay. Then get your cookbooks. The cookbook has 200 recipes in it, plus low sodium recipes as well. And then if you want to learn how we're going to heal, you have to learn about allostatic load. Okay. This is how I found out about allostatic load. I was in the hospital. I had been diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I asked Jordan to bring my laptop to the hospital and I just started researching. So my AI, Sandy, that's what I named my AI. You can name your AI whatever you want. Told me about what was happening to my heart and where all the problems were coming from. And so the line that he used was allostatic load, and that Black people have a higher allostatic load than white people do. I had never before that day of all of my teaching, how to eat according to your blood type, have ever heard of allostatic load. So when I asked Sandy, what is allostatic load? Allostatic load is the wear and tear on our organs from stress. So I said, okay, that makes sense. But then I started asking more questions. Well, what causes us to have the most stress? The number one thing that causes Black people to have more stress than any other thing in America is racism. Let's break that down even further. How can racism make us more stressed out? Well, we are oftentimes in environments. Yes, it's all systemic. And the thing about it is they know that. They know that. Hi, welcome. They already know that. They apparently have been studying allostatic load for decades. So my question then becomes, why haven't you mentioned any of this to Black people? Because the bottom line is the more allostatic load they put on us, the more money they make. They make money from us becoming sick. They make money from us trying to get well. They make money from us dying. They make money from doing quick autopsies where they get to extract the melanocytes from our bodies. They get to extract our melanocytes when we go in for procedures. Everything about us becoming sick benefits them. Yeah. So our bodies, literally, our internal organs age faster than white people's internal organs. Once again, we're not the same. We are not the same. Black people have particular issues. White people have particular issues. They are not the same issues. So, what is it that causes us to stress out and then it causes our organs to overwork? Well, racism. You see a police car riding behind you, automatically cortisol just spills out into your bloodstream. You get into an argument with a white person at work, automatically cortisol spills out into your bloodstream. You go into a department store to shop, you're getting followed. Automatically, cortisol streams just floods your bloodstream, right? You being the only Black person in your office. You being the only Black person ever denied loans. I mean, the list goes on and on. America literally gaslights Black people every single day, several times a day. When people even make terms like, oh, it's just, I never owned slaves. I never owned slaves. You guys needed to let that go. That was so long ago. Put in the comments other gaslighting terms that you know while I look for the full list, because I was doing that earlier and totally forgot. Put in the comments the gaslighting terms that are used to keep cortisol in our bloodstream all day. Go ahead, put in the comments. Put in the comments. Being Black and majority white. Exactly. I'm the only Black person in our neighborhood. Me and Jordy, the only ones. The only ones. But then they make you want to be, they make it seem like this is where you need to be, right? Even though they know it's a constant stressor. I have Black friends. I have Black friends. So that makes you less racist because you have Black friends. They love that one. Let's not forget. Well, what about Jesus? What would Jesus do? A white woman stressed me out Friday and I've been feeling sick all weekend. See, you know what should have happened? Do you know why you feel sick after you have interactions with racist white people? Or people that claim they aren't even racist? Being a white woman with a biracial baby. That can go either way. So if y'all know that we have, think about this for a second. This is another sidebar. What do y'all think biracial people are going through? Somebody asked me that question the other day. Somebody asked me that question the other day. The reason that you feel sick after having an interaction with a person that is using microaggressions or throwing shade, and you know what it is. We all know what it is, right? Is because you ain't knocked the shit out of them. The reason you walking around sick in your body is because you ain't cussed them motherfuckers out. Because you have been trained to turn the other cheek. You have been trained to take the high road. You have been trained not to get out of character. You have been trained to spare their feelings when they never have been trained to spare yours. Not one day, not in one scripture have white people been trained to spare our feelings. Never in one day of Christianity have white people been told to take the higher road. Not one motherfucking time. So why are the rules different for us? But we're all the same. Right? We're all the same. If we're all the same, why we have two different Bibles? If we're all the same, why do we have two different Bibles? Why do we have the slave Bible? And they had the King James Version. I ain't looking for it. I'm just going to type it in again. I said, list the 50 most used gaslighting terms America uses on Black people. So if you want to go look that up yourself. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Spirit fingers. Number one, denying that racism exists. Racism is over. The number one most used gaslighting term is racism is over. You'll hear Black people saying it all the time too. You'll hear Black people saying it all the time. Number two, slavery was a long time ago. It's all in our head is literally the definition of gaslight. That's what it means. To make you believe it's all in your head. Did y'all go get your chill capsules? So y'all can start relaxing your nervous system so your body can start repairing itself? There it is on the screen. Go get it. Go get it. Number three, that was just a few bad people. You know how they be saying to you, not all cops are bad. That's another one. That's another one. Everyone has the same opportunities now. If everyone has the same opportunities now, why are they reversing all of these civil rights and DEIs and all these things? Why are they saying that there's reverse racism if racism is over? In order for you to say that there is reverse racism going on, there has to be the existence of racism, right? Yeah, you just want to be a victim. They say that shit all the time. When it is, in fact, white people that are victims. They are the ones that thrive on victimhood. The orange man just said white people were treated so unfairly during the civil rights movement. You know, the same white people that were beating us up and sicking dogs on us. He said that they were treated very badly during the civil rights movement. The ones that spit on us when we sat at lunch counters. You mean those white people? You're living in the past. Why do you always make everything about race? You just said this last week. By putting all of these equal rights into laws to make it so that we have the same rights that they have, meant that white people were being treated badly. See, because they have been trained to believe that equality is threatening to them. For us to be on a level playing field, for us to have the same things across the board, that is injustice to white people. Because at all times, white people are supposed to be above us. So, in viewing equality, then it seems unfair to whites. Politically Live. What are you talking about, Gina? What is your question? I don't understand your question. Put your question in the form of a question, not just with a question mark at the end of two words. America isn't racist. Look at Obama. This isn't a race issue. It's a personal issue. Do y'all see how many goofy white people are on the live right now? Why are you being so aggressive? She's literally asking me that question right now. It's another gaslighting term. There's only one race, the human race. That's why we owned you, and that's why we now own you. Because we live rent-free in your brain right now. We have enslaved your brain. And first of all, you were too broke to own anybody. It always cracks me up when poor white people say that they owned us. Poor white people never owned anything. And you still don't. Because the welfare that you enjoy, the Section 8 that you enjoy, all those things were made for you. History shows, y'all see how they pick and choose what they want to be proud of? Who's on Section 8? Ma'am, my house in no way, shape, or form is on wheels. That's your house. That's your house. And we didn't own anything. You didn't own not one black person, right? That's the first thing y'all say. I didn't own slaves. But the minute you want to say some stupid shit to me, you want to come and say, we owned you. So which one is it? Did you own slaves or not? Did you own slaves or not? Blaming black people for the harm. If you worked harder, you'd be fine. Pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. Stop playing the victim. You're just lazy. It's your culture, not racism. Personal responsibility matters more than history. You're choosing to struggle. Miss Gina, go on ahead and finish off your bottle of wine for the day. Just go ahead and finish it off. You can't wait until you can go and pass out from that bottle of wine. Now, I won't even say bottle, it's probably a box. You can't wait until you can pass out on the couch from drinking that box of cheap wine you drink every day, just to accept the life you have been pushed into, having to breed those savage white kids into this world that you hope every single day don't go to the school and shoot it up. Every day, you got to wonder if your husband is creeping into your kid's room at night because you are too old for them to touch anymore. Finish your wine. Minimizing pain and trauma. It wasn't that bad. Other groups had it hard too. Remember? What about the Irish? At least slavery gave you a chance to come here. No, slavery gave you a chance to come here because we were already here. That lie you love to tell yourselves, which is making you crazy to this very moment, is that you went and put all these black people in chains and sailed them across the ocean. Which in fact is wrong. Ma'am, if you think that I'm going to respond to you telling me to go pick some cotton, do you think that shit bothers me? You are a typical white woman. The only thing you have to offer is those baloney lips that suck like a Hoover vacuum cleaner. The only thing you bring to the table is that terrible home perm and those rusty knees that you stay on all the time. What other value do you have? What else can you brag about? Your blowjob skills is all you have to put on your resume. I'm going to wear wigs until wigs are never sold again. The thing you don't have to worry about is us getting the hair from you, because science literally shows that your hair isn't even strong enough to make into wigs. So that even when we see white women wearing wigs, you're still wearing hair from colored people. Why would I wish I had white people hair when your shit is falling out on your pillow every day? And if you were so proud of your hair, how come you don't wash that shit? How come you don't wash it? You wish you were wearing this hair. Your shit is so thin, I can see your thoughts, bitch. That always cracks me up when I think about it. Y'all's hair is so thin that I can literally see all those dents in your brain. I can see them. Just ask yourselves why white people are so upset about what I'm saying. Because I'm not lying. All of these terms, all of these gaslighting terms that I'm saying, they say. So what exactly is Becky mad about? What exactly is thin everything Becky mad about? Thin skin, thin lips, thin hair, thin. Everything's thin. What are they so mad about? The only comeback they ever have is hair. We don't use white people's hair to make wigs. This hair ain't even real. This was made in a machine. And it still looks better than yours. This hair was made by a fucking machine. It didn't come off not one human person's head. Not one person was scalped for this hair, man. That's what they're mad about. That every single man that they are married to today wants to fuck us. That's why they go out and get those big old lip injections. That's why they're laying outside trying to tan. This is why they do the things that they do. They even out now trying to get BBLs and Brazilian butt lifts and all that shit because their man wants to fuck a black woman. So they're doing everything in their lining their lips with black eyeliner and shit. What are you doing? That's what it all boils down to. Because just like we have centuries of trauma in our bodies, what they have in their bodies is centuries of watching their man leave their bedroom and go down to the slave shack and fuck the slaves instead of fucking her. Knowing that this black, nappy-headed slave was more attractive to your man than you were, still lives in their body to this day. Just like our trauma still lives in our body, their trauma still lives in their body. I keep trying to tell y'all the truth, but y'all have a problem with it. That's why every time they see a black woman, they can't help but what's she doing here? Because they know damn well their men are like, what's she doing here? Especially when you know the lies that they have perpetuated about black women all this time. The apology letter from the Psychological Association that lied and said we were oversexed, that black women were just highly hypersexual and we just down to fuck all the time. So you as a white woman already know that your man is attracted to us. You already have heard the lies and believe the lies that we are hypersexual and all these things. Why wouldn't you feel threatened? Why wouldn't you walk around with self-esteem issues? Why wouldn't you walk around with self-worth issues? And then they want to say, oh, we took your man. No, we gave him to you. Trust and believe. Not one white woman walking on the face of this earth has a black man that any black woman has ever wanted. Just like you are not wanted by your white men. The only white woman that's with a black man is a white man reject. So the two rejects have gotten together. That's not something that black women are sitting around concerning ourselves about. We're not, oh my gosh, I really wish these undesirable black men loved us. No, that's not how we think. Not at all. And the reason you white women want black men is because you want to punch your dad. That's all. You just think that this is the ultimate way for get back of your dad, who probably was diddling you when you were 12. And so you're mad. And what you're going to do is the ultimate evil. And that is to have black children that you don't even like. Because you want to give the ultimate fuck you to your family. I'll fix them. I'll just start dating black guys. That's how that went. It wasn't because you loved him. It's because you were on some get back shit. You want to piss everybody off in your family because they don't love you enough, or they was playing with you after midnight and all kinds of crazy shit. And then those of you that go after rich athletes, we all know what that's about. We all know what that's about. Okay? We all know what that's about. You just looking for a fucking check. You just looking for some sappy nigga that's gonna pay your way for the rest of your life because you're a lazy bitch. You historically have been a lazy bitch. Every aspect of your life is just laziness. Lazy. So you're just gonna fuck your way through the rest of your life. You're gonna fuck your way to the top. That's why all those white women were saying that Kamala Harris slept her way to the top. Black women don't have to sleep our way to the top, boo boo. We actually put in the work. You are the one that sleeps your way to the top. If you ever get to what you think is the top, it's because you've used your gooch. It had nothing to do with education. It had nothing to do with skill. It had nothing to do with anything but why are you talking like this? Someone needs to turn me in. Turn me into who? Turn me into who? Turn me into who? Y'all talk about black people all day. Y'all call us everything imaginable. You say the most despicable shit about us all day, every day. You go throughout the country spreading it around. You go have lecture tours doing it. But the minute we start doing it back to you, someone needs to turn you in. You need to be stopped. There's that victim mentality again. I thought y'all had this thick skin. I thought y'all could handle it. Well, I'm going to go eat my dinner. We'll talk about the rest of the gaslighting terms tomorrow. I have another book to work on. I have another book to finish. And I hope that you white people will read that book so that you can heal yourselves, because you're just walking around as one big, open, festering, nasty, green, oozy wound. And that nasty wound is spreading to everybody. And when I say it, I'll say it again. I'll say it 100 motherfucking times. White women are the problem. White women are at the root of the cancer in this fucking country. They are the cancer. So, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Love you. Bye. Boop, 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 boop. I want to get off that before she reports me and I lose my content. Want to make sure I still have my content that I can go and make my little highlight reels off of. Someone should turn you in. To who? The authorities? Anyway, I love y'all. I will see y'all back again tomorrow. Bye. Turn me in. You white people, y'all something else. Fattest woman said I should be turned in. I know, honey. It's hilarious. Bye, YouTube.